There have been a few instances where I was friends with people who thought and acted like Discord during Dungeons and Discords. In these specific cases that I'm referring to, those people tended to purposefully make friends with weaker personalities so they could manipulate them into agreeing to something that they might not have agreed to on their own. Then, when the time came to call them out on this behavior, I would usually learn that they acted this way through a self-justified sense of superiority, usually believing themselves to be smarter and/or more charismatic than their friends, just as Discord did. But the results were very similar to what they were in the episode as well. People like this tend to drive their friends away because at a certain point, a constantly dominant personality becomes exasperating, or the lack of interest in anything aside their own interests becomes apparent, or the lack of respect becomes apparent. Back when I analyzed the moral of the Scaremaster, I mentioned the importance of honestly trying something new. I also said that it's important to be honest about whether or not you're enjoying something, that trying to get through it just for the sake of your friends will only end up making you miserable and likely bring down their experience as well. Discord's behavior during Ogres and Oubliettes was one such example of this very instance, because when he finally decided to participate instead of trying to force Spike and Big Macintosh into what he wanted to do, he did so by hijacking the game and making it as unpleasant as he possibly could. This was when Spike had to make Discord aware of the fact that his ego was unfounded, that trying to manipulate others, forcing his will onto them, and taking advantage of their good intentions to include him in the first place is why most others can only handle him in small doses, if at all. When this happens in life, making this known to the perpetrator will cause them to either examine and correct their own behavior, or they'll continue to blame others for not being on their level. But just as we discussed during 28 Pranks Later, others around you are not required to put up with this behavior, and you will end up deserving whatever consequences befall you. The alternative to this is to be grateful that others cared about you enough to want to share what makes them happy with you. Remember that they more often than not desire to bring you joy, and are trying to do so in a way that they're most familiar with so that it can be enjoyed even more together. From there, we build on the lesson of make new friends but keep Discord, where we grow our circles of friends so that we can learn more about ourselves and others. And if you give it an honest chance, you'll likely even find that some of your old hobbies share common ground with the new ones. There's no use in being so closed-minded and controlling while you're trying to make new friends. Instead, relinquish control, relax, and learn about something new with a genuine interest. If you really don't like it, then it's perfectly okay to be honest about it. Then, bow out early and respectfully without causing a scene. However, I should briefly address a potential pitfall with Spike and Big Macintosh's intentions of inviting Discord to Ogres and Oubliettes. This being that Spike invited Discord because he felt sorry for Discord. I would advise against this because pity, like vengeance as we've discussed before, is a shallow and self-serving motivation that wears a thin veil of righteous intentions. When pity is depleted, the truth that your care was never genuine will inevitably come out, thus doing much more damage than any good which might have been done. Instead, make sure you are reaching out to those without many friends because you have real faith in the potential for true friendship. Even those who are like Discord may only be that way from a lack of people having faith in them and giving them a chance to better themselves, or to show that they don't need to have an overinflated ego. Once Discord realized that his ego was unfounded, he was able to make amends with Spike and Big Macintosh, and they were able to find a compromise that made the game more fun and fulfilling for everyone involved. If we can all have faith in others' potential, discard pity, relinquish our own egos, be grateful for how others care, and choose to take a genuine interest in the games that they're sharing with us, then we can do the same. And that's the moral of the story. If you have a topic you would like to hear discussed, you can drop your suggestions by following Brawny on Tumblr or sending an email to bronydebates@gmail.com. Feel free to check out my Patreon to see how you can support my channel and what you'll get in return. This video was sponsored by Irish John's Short Films and Animations, as well as all of my other generous supporters. Have a great day, and I look forward to hearing from all of you soon.